Hi, it's me again, So Sarah Style. Thank you very much for joining me. You don't hear from me for 2 months and then you get 2 vlogs in quick succession. Well, that's me, I'm afraid. Really, I am doing this because of the fantastic response that I got to the slim leg Style Arc Beth pants that I'd made. There've been quite a lot of questions about it, and I did say that I would do a deeper dive into it. So rather than kind of go into details with everybody separately, I just thought I'd put this vlog out now and do a real warts and all look at the fit, what I've changed, and a few other pattern ideas that may work. So before I do that, I'm going to need to stand up and show you all that. Just a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about first. I have got some fabric because I've made the Style Arc pants. I do like the shape. I'm really happy with them, and because I've finally got a slim leg pair that I like, I've quite fancied making some in leather, well, faux leather anyway. So I did a bit of a search and unearthed some faux leather from Dalston Mills. It was on sale, I think it still is on sale, and it's £2.95 a metre, and it said it was from a well-known high street brand. They kind of always say that, don't they? But I just thought, okay, I'll order a little bit of that for that price and just see what I think of it, because if I don't use it, I can always use it for bag making or whatever. Anyway, it's arrived and I ordered the 2 colours. There's like this is like called taupe. It's almost like a caramel colour, and it is a stretch. That's the stretch in it, so it really is quite a nice stretch. It's thinner than I would like, so I've got a feeling with the trousers it might just show a few too many lumps and bumps. But I definitely plan to make this pattern up in that. But I haven't got a Teflon foot. I haven't got anything that you're supposed to use for sewing with faux leather. I've been told a microtex needle is really, really good because you don't want to get sort of rips in it because it is quite thin. So what I plan to do is have a practice with a top. Hang on, let me just show you the other one first. It's beige. It's beige, it's taupe. What do you expect? There you go, so it's beige. So I think that will be really nice as a top or a jacket or whatever. I don't think I'd wear those as on my bottom half. I just think it's a little bit too light for me. But it drapes really, really nicely. So my idea, you know how I love draping and asymmetry, is to practice before I make the trousers, is to practice and make a top. Now I've had this pattern for a while. I wouldn't do that one because I do like wacky, but that's a bit wacky even for me. I quite like the idea of this one. Now, it's not got the best write-ups at all. There's nothing on Instagram and there's something on Pattern Review, and they both kind of chucked it out really in the end, but I'm determined to make it work. It's got, the reason I quite like this is because I like these pleats here. And it's also got a facing, because with leather it's kind of hard to know. It doesn't need finishing, but you can't just leave it. I don't think leaving it raw at the neck would work. I think it needs a little bit more substance when it's thinner like this. So, and it's also then got, it's like a button and loop, I think, at the back. It says it's only for silky types, so it could all go absolutely horribly wrong. But do you know what? I've got 4 meters. That's the idea, is that I'm going to do some experimenting. So it's going to be this one, and I will have a go at sewing that top in this and show you how I get on. I don't even know yet whether I will finish the sleeves and the bottom. I might just leave those raw rather than do. It depends how my machine gets on. And I have got a walking foot. Apparently you can use a walking foot, so I might try that. But it might just end up being turned into bags. I don't know. That's the plan. And if I can, I will get that done and show you in this vlog. Now I'll push you back and I will go into the actual Beth pattern itself. Hang on, before I do that, I will show you the pattern pieces, because people were asking about, you know, I'd talked about it kind of going in and then out a little bit. I'll show you the shape when it's on in a minute, but with me it's always a little bit like just experiment, just have a go. It looks like, see, I made it I think I made them at the end of November. I can't remember what I did yesterday, let alone 2 months ago. I really need to get one of those what are they, like the project planning books so that I can actually write in what changes I made. Looks like I've taken, what's that, at least an inch. When it's folded, does that make it 2 inches? Oh, come on, brain. Yeah, anyway, I've taken quite a lot of the length because I wanted it to be like a kick flare, an ankle length kick flare. I didn't want it to be too long. And then it looks to me like I have made the size, what's green? Size 10. Okay, so I've cut it out as the size 10, and then I've gone in a little bit here, which takes it into the size red. What's the size red? Is 8. So it's not gone in a lot. Sort of size 6 and 8. It's gone in sort of from here. I've narrowed it in, and then I've taken it back out to the 10 at the bottom, and I've done that on both sides. So it just hugs, instead of going literally straight down, I just wanted it to go a little bit like that. So not a huge amount of difference. I will get on now and I will show you the different, I'll show you the toile, and I will show you how the shapes worked out basically. The other thing that I wanted to say, and I have written it down so I don't lose it, but I've lost my written down bits, is I've had a couple of other suggestions actually of straight leg pants for you to have a look at, and one of them is the Sewing Revival, the classic and the side wider pants. So the classic pants, they're elasticated and they look like a nice shape, sort of a fairly straight shape. There are loads of others on the Style Art website. Now, the reason I made the Beths was because I got the pattern free. Somebody, well, in fact, it was Beck from What Beck Sews had it printed out, and she kindly donated it to the pattern swap. It was about 18 months ago. So I already had that, and I looked at it and thought, well, that's got a nice wide waistband. I like the shape of it. I'll just give it a go. I'll just have a practice in a toile fabric. So that's what kind of led me to where I am now. The other pants that I have made, and I will show you, I'll try them on, is the Sinclair Patterns Poppy Pants. I'm looking for them. I'm actually wearing them. Oh God. Right, I'll show you properly. But again, these are a flat front, and then they're I shouldn't really show you two, so on my belly button all the time. And then they are elastic at the back, so I'm not as keen because of the gathering. The Beths I find have got sort of a flatter feel all the way around, but these have got really nice pockets, which the Beths don't, and they have back patch pockets again, which I don't I don't think the Beths do, but I want to put pockets on my Beth. So it's finding that holy grail, isn't it, of the perfect shape trouser with the pockets you want, with the back pockets you want, with the right amount of stretch, with the right waistband. It's, you know, it has been a bit of, in fact, my son for some reason made me watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail last night, which, you know, it's just bonkers, isn't it? But anyway, yeah, it's the search for the Holy Grail, isn't it? The perfect pair of pants. So anyway, I really am going to leave you now and try the trousers on, and then I'll be able to talk through what I've done and the adjustments a bit more. So hang on just 1 second. I will be pushing you back in a minute. I just wanted to show you another thing. These are the 12 pair that I made, the first pair. So I don't know whether I've got this right or not. It might just be me. This is the waistband for the Beth pants. So you've got an option. If you look at the pattern, there are some really interesting style lines that you can put on it, but that really means that you have to cut separate bits. I don't want to do too much rustling. There are extra bits that you can cut out, and then you sew it together and you've got the style lines. Well, I'm not really that fussed about it. I just wanted a nice fitting pair of trousers. So I basically used the front and the back waistband for use the back waistband for the front as well, if you don't want to be fiddling about with your extra seam lines, etc. So this is the waistband. Now I've cut out, again, which is what I'm supposed to do, the size 10 here, and the top and the bottom are as per the pattern, so you can't make that any sort of, that is the size it comes, if you know what I mean. So if you fold that in half, then that's your waistband. Hang on a second. I'll get to the point in a minute. That's your waistband, which is pretty deep. It actually recommends 1.5 inch elastic. And I think this is, I made it first. The first is toile. I think this is a 2 inch. Let's have a look. Yes. So this is 2 inch elastic that I've got here. So this is what I made my toile with. But if you see, I know you've got seam allowances and all the rest of it. But if you see, can you see that? How much extra space you've got in that waistband with the 2 inch elastic. That translates in actual fabric and trousers to, there, you can see the bottom of that, can't you? You can see the bottom of the elastic in there. So it's a little bit, there's still plenty of room in the waistband for thicker elastic is what I'm saying. So I got 3 inch elastic because, as I've said before, I like it, just holds everything in really nicely. Look at that bad boy. And if you see again, I thought I'd had to extend the size of the depth of the waistband, but I haven't actually, because it's here, it still fits. It's a little bit snugger, and you may want to just add a little bit to the depth. But you see there, you've still got enough at the bottom, seam allowance. Yeah, you may want to, it worked for me, you may want to change it. In reality, that works out as there. So that's the bottom of the elastic there, just by the seam, and that's the top. So to me, that makes more sense because it's not wriggling around as much. The instructions tell you to, that's the waistband. So the instructions tell you to zigzag, stitch elastic to the inside of the band. So you actually stitch it, you zigzag round on the inside, and then you fold it over. Well, I didn't listen to that because I just made it up as I went along, which actually is a problem if you're using the thinner elastic, because it's moving around so much, isn't it? See what I mean? So if I'd have zigzagged it on the inside up here, then it would sit nicely, but I would still have a fair bit of kind of empty space there. So I don't know. That's just why I put the 3 inch elastic in, and I do prefer it that way anyway. So yeah, again, now I will try them on for you. Okay, so this is going to be a case of talk to the trousers. These are the poppy pants. I just thought I'd leave these on so you could see them while I had them on. So really like, I love the pockets on these, and this waistband is a 2 inch waistband. So if I made these again, I could make that a little bit wider. But what I was saying about the back is that there's quite a bit of gathering, which is fine if I was wearing long tops. So just because I'd want to cover that. That's reminded me, somebody asked me about the different, like, do I have much difference between my waist and my hips? Yes, 11 inches. I've literally just measured it. This is 30, this is 41. So that's why with the pants, as I said before, there is a certain amount of wriggling needed to get it over my hips, but it's worth it because then it fits nicely. As I was talking to you about the trying not to sorry, there's so much rustling going on, but I was showing you the waistband. So this is what I really like about it. Obviously you can see the shape of the waistband, which means that when it's on, because of the side seams, the top is narrower than here, which then obviously comes up and it helps to curve so it fits flat. So I'll get on with the other ones. These poppy pants, excuse my sexy socks and Uggs, are obviously a lot shorter and narrower. This is the style that I wanted when I made these absolutely ages ago. There's nothing to stop me from making these wider at the bottom if I wanted to go with the pockets. So that's just another option. So these are the ones that actually started all the sort of interest off, because I wanted to, as I said before, I wanted to make some jeans, but I didn't want to mess about with zips, etc. I wanted some pull-on jeans, but the shape I wanted, and again, like I said last time, these have actually shrunk a bit because I have washed them so much. It's this, the bottom bit you can see with jeans, I wanted it to have some space, to have a tiny little kick flare, I suppose, with at the bottom, and a turn up. So that's why I've ended up taking a fair bit out of the length. Well, I probably took a fair bit out of the length because I've got short legs. I needed to, but then I wanted to be able to turn the bottom up, and I've left it to fray. That's just the look that I wanted. In order to do that, I've actually put a line of stitching along here so they don't completely fray and fall apart. So that'll stop it fraying too much. But again, it's this 3-inch elastic that I really like, just to hold everything in. These really could benefit from pockets, definitely pockets at the back. When I make another pair, I'm going to put some pockets on the back. I don't know actually whether I will fiddle about with pockets at the front. I don't know, because to be perfectly honest, I'm wearing this with a short top to show you, but generally I wear them with slightly longer tops. So it doesn't really matter whether you've got pockets or not, do you? But I do like somewhere to stick my mobile phone when I'm walking around. So that's why a back pocket I think is really quite useful. So the stretch, people also asked about the amount of stretch. This is the spare bit. I'm going to make another pair actually, because I'm so happy with them. This is the amount of stretch this has. So it is a fair bit, to be honest. They are a stretch woven pant. So it's, in order to get it on as well, like I say, it's quite, it's snug. So you do need quite a bit of stretch. I'll just come down here so you're not talking to the trousers too much. I'll show you the final pair, which are these, and these have got less stretch, but they still work. So I'll just pop those on. Now, because these have got less stretch, they have bagged out a little bit. They need a wash, to be honest. They've been worn and worn. So the difference is, I think I was probably a little more generous when I cut these out. So just gave a tiny bit more, and maybe I might have been a little bit meaner with the seam allowances, just to make sure that there was an extra bit of room in them. So when I showed you last time, I said there was only mechanical stretch. I've looked again, and there is a little bit of stretch. So, hang on, I'm not showing you very well, am I? So there's a tiny bit, nothing like as much as the other one. So it still does work. They're just a bit looser, and this is the shape without the turn up. If you have a look on Instagram, you'll see quite a few of the pairs, and depending obviously on how tight people make them, some of them were just a bit snugger and some of them were really quite, as I say, just too straight down from here, this bit of the knee. I didn't want that, so that's why literally even just going in a tiny bit by one size and then following it back out again was enough just to give me that bit at the bottom, that kind of kick flare without it being too straight. I don't know, it's worked for me, and I'm really happy with the overall shape of them. I just need to work on putting pockets on, etc. for the next time. So the other thing I did want to show you with these was, I was talking about the fact that I like these because they don't have too much gathering. It must just be the shape of the pattern pieces and also the shape of the waistband, without having to put zips, because the other thing I could do was have a pair of trousers with a side zip, but why would you bother when you could just put some gorgeous elastic in? So I think that's enough of me demonstrating bits and bobs and pants. That behind me is a little reminder of my lovely Tilly and the Buttons sunny jacket, which I had such a nightmare with the buttons, and I didn't actually, well, I did finish it, but it just needs some kind of closure. So I'm shaming myself by hanging it up there so I don't forget to finish it, because I love it. And at this time of year, it's perfect to wear. It's got leopard print inside, got furry inside, and let me show you. I've just put like a magnetic clip on it for now. It's got that furry inside and I absolutely love it. But I've just got to, it's silly, isn't it? Things like that. It's just closures that I need to do. But it's stopping me from wearing it. But actually, it goes really nicely with what I'm wearing, doesn't it? So I really am rambling. I will leave it there with my half-finished jacket. See if I can get this finished as well. And I'm not going to do the top in this vlog because I think this vlog's long enough. But I'm going to the leather top that I was talking about. I'm going to get it made for a future vlog. I've gone on enough in this one, but I will catch up with you soon. I just wanted to get the information out really on the trousers, just so people could sort of have a look and maybe adjust it to themselves or do whatever. But really, as always, just experiment and get yourselves toiling. Definitely, I am, as you know, Mrs. Toile, and then you can't go wrong really. That's the best way to get things to fit. So with that in mind, I'm going to go now and I will catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye. So it's now the evening and I've jumped on with a quick PS because I forgot one of the most important things about fitting trousers. I'm sure most of you are aware, but I'm going to say it just in case, is the front and the back rise. In my previous video, I'd mentioned that I've done my usual adjustment, which I would do on absolutely every pair of trousers before I even make them, which is to add some extra room in the back rise and take some from the front rise. That just helps with if you've got a little bit of extra booty, it accommodates that. And for some reason I always need to take it from the front because obviously I have a shorter rise there. I'll just show you quickly on the pattern pieces what that looks like. This is the front pattern piece and you can see probably a little bit better there that I've taken a centimetre out, which is just to kind of, I just cut across sort of halfway across there and overlap the pattern pieces and just shrunk it. So that means that this bit, which is your front rise, is slightly shorter, and that takes out any bits of wrinkly or excess kind of baggy crotch area that's most unattractive. And then for the back, this is I always do this as soon as I get a pair of trousers. I add some width in two areas, some length, so that if you imagine that's the bit that kind of it curves around your bottom. So I have added a little bit here, I would say probably about an inch, just under about an inch there, and then the same again here. So that's the bit that kind of goes underneath, obviously, and meets with the front crotch. So those are the two adjustments. Just if you're thinking while you're trying to adjust things and your trousers still aren't fitting, definitely always check your front and back rises because they're such an important part of fitting trousers or pants. So that is absolutely it for now. I will catch up with you soon. Bye.